You cannot out hustle a tired brain or a depleted body. You can't outperform if you're living in dis-ease. How you become a high performer is through sleep fitness. Sleep isn't time off. It's the single greatest performance multiplier that is probably neglected. Every championship athlete, billionaire, millionaire, entrepreneur, celebrity athlete and entertainer, market beating investor, mission driven entrepreneurs, mentors eventually reaches the same realization. You can't out hustle a tired brain or a depleted body. You cannot out hustle a tired brain or a depleted body. You can't outperform if you're living in dis-ease. When you treat sleep as a strategic asset, utilizing mentorship and education, inspiration, intelligence, and intuition, measured, trained, and protected with the same rigor you give your finances or your fitness, your physical fitness, it is amazing the clarity, balance, and focus, the harmony that sharpens, the creativity compounds, and the resilience becomes your default setting. It's amazing. You can't manage what you can't measure. And if you think you're managing your sleep without measuring it, you're a fool. This guide will reframe your bedtime into prime time. I'm going to repeat that. This guide and exercise, email me, david@dmeltzer.com. It will reframe your bedtime into prime time. It will equip you with a scoreboard to manage your sleep fitness and score it, giving you 3 foundation principles and pillars and 8 actionable habits, behaviors that turn the rest into your most overlooked superpower. Let's upgrade recovery and access from an afterthought to a competitive edge so you can lead, serve, and live with purpose, prosperity, and peace. So, what exactly is sleep fitness? Sleep fitness is that you can't give what you don't have. That's what sleep fitness is. It's the common saying that you can't give what you don't have. It's energy, it's focus, it's resilience are all withdrawals that you take from the sleep bank of what you have. Every elite athlete that I've ever worked with is most interested in recovery and access of inspiration, information, energy. Elite ultra runners that we work with, Grayson Murphy logs their and measures their recovery with metrics as religiously, dogmatically as mileage. So many business leaders that I work with must do the same thing with their sleep statistics. You can't manage what you can't measure. Turn that bedtime into prime time. A simple 0 to 1 sleep fitness score turns an abstract habit into a intentional behavior of doing, saying, thinking, feeling, believing that creates actionable KPIs. Pick a tracking tool, any tracking tool. Oura Rings, Whoop, your Apple Watch, your 8 sleep bed. Find your baseline. Just as if we do emotionally, we know our baseline through the stop, drop, and roll methodology, but create a baseline. Study your baseline first. And when you establish that measurement, you can now manage from that measurement by choosing quality, routines, behaviors, total time, minimum times that raise the scores points months by months, which increases your ability to recover and access the inspiration, intuition, and the energy that is infinite because it stops you from interfering with it mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally. You can't outperform a tired mind or a tired body. There has to be a measurement of that fitness. We have to utilize energy, focus, and resilience and fill our bank so we can we withdraw it in alignment with where we want to be or better. Understanding the power of an excellent sleep and what an excellent sleep is. The number one piece of advice I have is find a mentor. I've had a sleep coach for 18 years, coming on 19 years, to help facilitate the activities of each day and each night align with where I want to be or better, to provide me that freedom that I can afford financially to do what I want, when I want, with who I want, for as long as I want. But if you don't have the fitness to back it up, you won't be able to do it, even if you can afford it. I see scores in the 90s and higher that correlate with faster reaction time, sharper emotional control, a higher HRV, literal biometrics of high performance that are measurable and manageable. I work with so many sales teams. And ironically, they want to learn the 9 box system. They want to learn the open ended question guide and the open minded question guide. They want to learn the 3 no rule and the 25 no rule. And I start with my sales teams to gamify the collective sleep fitness scores and create a winning rate that climbs and grows and accelerates and aggregates into a huge collective consciousness so that everybody on the team is recovered and accessing the information, inspiration, and energy to become crisper, to have the resilience and energy and focus, to be more resourceful, to collaborate, coordinate together, all because everybody is rested and ready. Everybody has recovered and accessed that awareness to make things easy, but also to identify the dis-easy. Chasing a perfect score isn't perfectionism. It's compounding marginal gains every night towards the pursuit of perfectionism with progress. The behavior is defined in good beyond the divine direction. Good meaning in the direction I want to be, bad being interfere with it. And we can do that with an excellent sleep measurement. Create a leaderboard with whatever group it is, your family, your friends, your associates, your business. Opt into this leaderboard, gamify it, make it fun. Who has the most power? Who has the most energy and resilience? Celebrate all of the improvements that are made. Celebrate everything that's celebrated for, not just the highest scores that are measurable in the sleep fitness group. Pair your sleep wins with measurable business KPIs. For the sake of what am I sleeping? For the sake of being able to take on more meetings, more phone calls, to be able to have a better relationship with those people that I am most relative to, or I associate most with, or that feed me the most, or bleed me the most, whatever it may be. We want to be able to utilize the power of an excellent sleep fitness score in order to effectuate that baseline to know how we are improving, progressing, aggregating, and compounding the KPIs exponentially. When we look at our different mechanisms of measurements, knowing that we can't manage what we can't measure, I use the 8 sleep fitness habits for high achievers in order to facilitate the habit, the behavior with why it matters, and then what I utilize as a trigger. So many people have asked for this, and I'm happy to send you these habits for high achievers, the behaviors of sleep fitness for high achievers, so you can institute it in your personal and professional life. Just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. The first habit, the first behavior, sleep cooler. I sleep at 67 degrees. I make sure that my core temperature drops because dropping my core temperature triggers melatonin naturally, not taking pills, not injections, but naturally within the homeostasis of my being, in harmony with ease, not dis-ease. I drop my temperature in order to trigger melatonin, and I set my own systems to make sure that I'm at somewhere around 67 degrees. I may drop it to 65 to start and then elevate it to 67. And then when it's time to wake up at 4 a.m., elevate it to even warmer around 69. So the first behavior is to sleep cooler so that you can trigger the melatonin naturally. The second behavior is optimizing the environment that you sleep in. Make sure that you understand light and the disruption to REM that light will have your REM sleep, but also noise. Make sure that you are in the dark and in the silence so that your REM happens quicker and puts you into a deeper sleep of recovery and access to information. Some of the mechanisms that I use, some of the triggers I use is making sure that the room is blacked out. And I also have used a white noise app to make sure that I've optimized the environment according to light and noise in order to facilitate an ease in REM sleep. You need at least a minimum of an hour of REM and a minimum of an hour of deep sleep. It really doesn't matter where you are falling, as long as you get at least 5 hours of sleep. 7 hours is optimal. Some people need more determined, some people need less determined about their energetic and genetic inheritance, their code. So the third behavior is to disconnect the mind. I call this more disconnect the brain to connect the mind. We know that the subconscious mind holds 40,000 of the same thoughts. It's activated while we are sleeping. And of those 40,000 thoughts, how many of those are negative, repetitive, even worse? These mental loops lengthen or shorten your sleep latency. Make sure that you utilize an unwinding routine, not just to put the temperature and the environment in the right place, but to disconnect the brain from the mind to allow the mental loops to lengthen your sleep latency. Spend time utilizing journaling or breath work or meditation or even out music and TV that puts you into a place that disconnects the brain to allow the mind to clear the interference between it and the infinite energy, information, intuition, and inspiration that it's connected to and through all day long and all night long. The fourth behavior, so many people have asked me for these, so remember, please just reach out if you want these, is to exercise early. Late night hit trainings elevates your cortisol. You need to finish your workouts at least 3 hours before bed. Same thing with caffeine, drugs, other things. You got to make sure that you give the biochemical and bioanatomical reactions determined upon your energetic and genetic inheritance to dissipate enough to get into the place where you can take advantage of the cooler sleep, the optimized environment, and the disconnected brain so the mind can access the infinite. Exercise early is a great way, besides giving physical exhaustion, which is absolutely a benefit. The fifth behavior in sleep fitness and allowing us to put ourselves in the position to recover and access at its greatest potential, mind, body, and soul, is my favorite superpower of the superpower of sleep. It's also my superpower of being awake, and it's consistency. You got to stay consistent. People worry about me traveling in the jet lag, and because I've had the sleep coach for so many years, I can go in the last 48 hours and fly the red eye to New York, land at 7 a.m. and fly out at 11:30 p.m. to land in Denver at 1:30 a.m. and then leave at, which would be California time, 6 a.m. and land here at 8 and be in the office by 9. But it's not that jet lag that gets people. It's the social jet lag that kills the hypnotic rhythm that's created by positivity. You're interfering with the positivity, the rhythm of your life. Social jet lag is far more interfering than jet lag itself. It is consistency that dissipates the jet lag, that allows for this unbelievable clearance between you and the infinite energy, inspiration, intuition. And will keep this identical sleep and wake times on weekdays and weekends. And I live on East Coast time. I wake up no matter where I am in reason, 7 a.m. Eastern time. If I'm in London or I'm in California, 7 a.m. If I go beyond into reverse, then I use my own coach to help facilitate, and I try to shorten the amount of time or lengthen the amount of time in a new sleep environment, but stay consistent. Don't create social jet lag. It will kill the hypnotic rhythm that's necessary to allow you to access the unbelievable infinite that we are connected to and through. It will dissipate the interference by staying consistent when you're awake and asleep. All right. The sixth habit, the behavior, is give time. Short sleep windows, quote unquote, cut cycles short. We need to block out from the unwinding routine until the time we awake a window of sleep on the calendar, a non-negotiable. It's my number one non-negotiable, a minimum of 7 hours of sleep every single day. And if I miss a day because of an exigent circumstance, I don't stack two L's. I make sure it becomes an ultra non-negotiable the next day. You got to block it out. Minimum amount of time. It has to be a non-negotiable every single time. It is give time. If you cut those windows, this is a habit you do not want. You are affecting your information, intuition, inspiration, and energy. Make sure you have a long, unwinding routine to wake up time, a minimum amount of time, a big window on the calendar, and stay consistent with it. Give time to your sleep. Give it up, baby. The behavior is most important. The seventh behavior in sleep fitness: avoid stimulants altogether, but especially after mid afternoon. Caffeine, alcohol, drugs, they fragment these stages. They're worse than giving small windows of sleep. It is a detriment. These stimulus, they create extreme habits in you that interfere with the information, intuition, inspiration, and energy that is given to you every day that you're interfering with. Stop the intake of any of these different stimulants by mid afternoon, and at least, and I'll repeat, at least 4 hours before your unwinding routine. Avoid stimulants. If you're going to take them early, just like working out. Do it early. Get that body moving until it just wears itself out of all its energy to put itself in a place of recovery and access that you will take advantage of in your recovery and access, in your performance, in your sleep fitness, the manageable and measurable scores. And then finally, the last behavior: go ahead. If you're restless, start over. Get up. Get up. We want the bed to be a cue to performance, a cue to recovery and access of information, inspiration, intuition, and energy. We do not want it to become a cue for worry, anxiety, resentment, guilt, separation, anger, frustration. So if you're feeling any of these responses to fear, leave the bed after 20 minutes of feeling restless, and then go do something not stimulating and return when you're sleepy, and it won't take long. But don't sit in bed and let things grow arms and legs and accelerate in the wrong direction. Don't take any stimuli, but go ahead and get out of bed, place yourself in a position to unwind again and start over. These are the 8 habits of high achieving sleep. Sleep cooler, optimize your environment, disconnect the brain to connect the mind better, exercise early, stay consistent, give more time to sleep, avoid stimulants, and get up if you're restless. I'll be happy to send those to you. It'll change your life because you will recover and access the information easier and better. I use, as you could tell, in order to be consistent, the 5 daily practices to accelerate, grow, aggregate in a divine direction, my sleep fitness. Each day it becomes a non-negotiable behavior of this is what I want, who it will help, who can I help, how best to do it, doing it now, prioritizing it according to the pre-prioritization, but also post-prioritization that's necessary if circumstances arrive. It is powered, and you are powered, or you are poisoned by your previous night's sleep. So many leaders that I coach have high sleep scores. They have a capability to frame problems and find the solutions without a variable lapse of time and create and see opportunities by what others see as punishment. Finding light, love, and lesson. A sleep deprived leader, their peers perceive feedback as threats, as interference, as a need to be right, offended, separate, inferior, superior, anxious, frustrated, angry, guilty, and resentful. My lowest moment in the last 5 years was when I put myself in a position of sleep deprivation and tried to extend myself, and I ended up acting like an asshole. Now, people around me may still think I'm an asshole, and fair enough for the snapshots that they have, but I'm human. And when human beings don't get enough sleep, they become a threat to the threats because of the way they react to the feedback of those threats. Sleep turns purpose into performance. Without it, Even a strong for the sake of what erodes. Even the strongest, highest performing people erode. It is a dis-ease that can create an acceleration in the wrong direction and create the wrong outcomes. In the morning, make sure you review your scores and manage your own measurements to adjust accordingly to the intensity. In the midday, go ahead and take a break off. There's a reason people nap in the afternoon in so many different societies. Natural light, get the circadian rhythm back into that hypnotic rhythm state, aligning it with where you want to be or better. Take a break. It doesn't have to be long. I vacation every day, a minimum of 10 minutes, usually midday. And then in the evening, as we have the reflections of all the rejections that needed redirection, we reflect on how the quality of our sleep fueled the emotional, educational, the mindset, heart set, and handset, the purpose. And then we make a recommitment because we know that the mistakes will keep on coming. As long as we don't lack commitment, we're going to get to where we want to be faster and better. The last lesson, which all of these are available for you, david@dmeltzer.com, is something that's applicable to yesterday as I won that Lifetime Legacy Leadership Achievement Award, the highest honor from Junior Achievement, who we were nominated as the Nobel Peace Prize winner for the third year in a row. I thought to myself, this legacy honor means two things. One, I'm old. And two, it is my legacy of rest, of sleep, that has gotten me to a place where I can impact so many millions of people and be recognized and acknowledged for what little I've done or how it's impacting them. So many people suffer from burnout. They ask about burnout. Burnout's going to build nothing that lasts. Energy, emotion, the energy in motion is the currency of impact. And sleep mints that currency nightly. That's all I was thinking in the Lifetime Legacy Leadership Achievement Award, that my sleep has minted the currency, that currency of impact, in alignment with my mission of doing, saying, thinking, feeling, and believing, and the mission of empowering all of you to empower 1,000, so we can have a collective consciousness of happiness, of making a lot of money, living in abundance, in an infinite, abundant, unified system of thought, helping a lot of people and having a lot of fun. I've been blessed to work closely with the Pro Football Hall of Fame and many Hall of Famers, executives, creators, billionaires, millionaires, entrepreneurs, and they all share one trait. They have a disciplined behavioral routine of recovery that outlasts the accolades. I celebrate the sleep. I celebrate the sleep that mints the currency that I have nightly, the currency of impact, not the burnout that builds nothing that lasts. Like anything else, we need to learn to receive and ask for more. And I can't tell you how many people think that sleep is selfish. Sleep is not selfless. It's selfish. It's selfless because you can't give what you don't have, as we mentioned earlier. Sleep isn't selfish. It's service. It's selfless. It's you recharging yourself for a greater performance by recovering an access that is given to it each night to provide you a bigger tomorrow, to give a bigger tomorrow, to be given a bigger tomorrow, to receive a bigger tomorrow, and ask for a bigger tomorrow the next day. You must declare that sleep's a non-negotiable. A non-negotiable, no matter what the circumstances of the day, I'm going to sleep a minimum of 7 hours at my highest capacity, determined upon the circumstances of the day, and be kind to your future self in this way. Teach others, empower others in the mission. My number one non-negotiable of sleep, then health, then family, then finance, then faith, then the study of time and relativity, time being the incremental usage of the 24 hours a day, including my sleep, and relativity giving meaning to it aligned with my divine direction. Create these teams, help other people with the recovery and access that they are part and parcel of in this unified system of thought. Remember, you can't manage what you can't measure. So you need to audit those measurements and to ensure major launches are preceded by peak recovery and access. Like I said, sleep is my number one non negotiable. We need to have sleep fitness. We need to have a score, a measurable, manageable score. Use the 8 behaviors: sleep, cooler, optimize environment, disconnect the brain, utilize the mind, exercise early, stay consistent, give time to sleep, avoid stimulants, and get up if you're restless. And these 5 daily practices with those behaviors, utilizing for the sake of what, who I can help, who can help me, how, doing it now, and applying our why of recovery and access to information in the infinite level. And you will have a legacy of rest, a selfless service of rest, so that you can be more every single day. Legacy is built on sustainability. Legacy is built on sustained energy. I've been volunteering and working with and being a student of junior achievement for 47 years. It's not a heroic sprint followed by a burnout. High performers who master anything, especially sleep fitness, discover an unfair advantage, consistent, renewable power to think bigger, decide faster, inspire longer. Commit to the outline of these behaviors today. Utilize cooler sleep environments, discipline routines, stimulant cutoffs, data-driven tracking. Watch your fitness mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally climb alongside that sustainable impact, that unbelievable legacy. Remember, every great performance begins the night before. My habit machine starts the night before. My tomorrow starts the night before with an unwinding routine. I protect my pillow the way champions protect game day. I want to be in the Pro Sleeping Hall of Fame as much as I used to want to be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I wake up each morning with clarity, balance, focus, confidence, capacity, purpose, passion, and my day is profitable because I experience my human experience in a world that is my very best, because I figured out what I'm doing to interfere with my rest. This has been one of my favorite trainings because it's so important. It's my number one non-negotiable, the most overlooked superpower of high performers: sleep. Please reach out to me, get the guide, the exercises, the book on sleep, get a sleep coach, join me in our networking group. We have people here that can help us all recover and access information, inspiration, intelligence in a unified, abundant system of wanting to help each other and knowing people to help each other. David at dmeltzer.com. Remember, most importantly, to be more interested than interesting. Be kind to your future self and do good deeds.